I don't understand.
You don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm a loner, Daddy. Rebel.
Gather round, my friends. Tonight I bring you a tale of horror and the macabre. A story so twisted, so terrifying, that it will send shivers down the spine of every one-wheel rider who dares to listen. This is the story of my experience with future motion. Yes. Gather round. Okay. Fix these lights a little bit. There we go. Okay, so maybe it's not that bad, but let me tell you, Future Motion has made some absolutely horrifying business decisions. Let me get to my personal stories with Future Motion. Alright, got the lighting adjusted, fixed. Should be good. Oh, I usually wear a hat. Let's grab a hat. Let's see, that one. No, that's not it. Much better. Alright, so for those that don't know me, I've been riding Onewheels for years. I love the ride, the float, the community, but one thing that's constantly been grinding my gears a little bit, how Future Motion does business and my personal experiences with them. Now, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be here without them, but at the same time, I also wouldn't be here making this video if they didn't make the same questionable decisions that they've made multiple times over. Some of the most frustrating business decisions I've personally ever experienced and seen. I've spent over $10,000 with this company. 7 boards, countless accessories, and yet every time I think they might do right by the riders, they remind me exactly who they are. So, these are my experiences and my personal qualms. There are plenty others out there that have their own experiences and their own qualms. But let's just start with the first time that I personally realized that Future Motion doesn't actually care about rider safety. That's good. So, if you had an XR back in the day, you probably remembered when you could see individual cell health through the Future Motion Onewheel app. Crucial information. One day it was there, the next day it was quietly removed. They didn't mention anything about it, they didn't say anything at all, they just made it disappear. The info is still there, but it's just hidden away from us. Why? Who knows? But it, in my opinion, is reckless. Being able to monitor our cell health isn't just a nice feature, but it's also a safety necessity. Knowing if your battery cells are balanced can prevent cutouts, failures, or worse. So for Future Motion to actively take that away from us riders, it's unacceptable. Instead of launching it with a 6-inch hub like the XR and all the tires the community already had, Future Motion with a 6.5-inch hub. Why? Because it meant the third-party tires were instantly obsolete if you wanted to be riding the latest and greatest board, and you were stuck buying their proprietary tires instead. And let's be real, Future Motion doesn't really support third-party vendors. Unless you fall perfectly in line with their approved ecosystem, they will shut you down, cease and desist, lawsuits, you name it. They got it. I won't go too deep into that right now because honestly that could be a whole different video in itself. But let's just say the amount of legal threats they've sent out is pretty cringeworthy. Next up, marrying the components and intentionally bricking boards. If you unplug a battery from, I know in my time, the GT, if you unplug the battery, the board would literally brick. It would turn into a paperweight. Why? Because they marry the components together, meaning that if anything is replaced, the board won't work unless Future Motion says so. We bought these boards. Once we own them, they shouldn't be under the Future Motion umbrella of control. It's just simply as plain as that. We own our boards. If I want to unplug a battery, I should be able to unplug my battery. Oh, and another one of their manufacturing failures that I had to deal with firsthand was the GT had the XT60 connector issue, Basically, I was riding and I don't know, 10, 12 miles per hour, and I rode off a curb. And as soon as my board made impact, or my tire made impact, the board completely turned off on me and my board went weak and it dropped me on my back. And that wasn't a good time. That was because of the XT60 connector in the GT. So what did I have to do? I had to take my board apart, void that precious warranty sticker just to open it, and fix it myself. I used dielectric grease and had to literally super glue. I don't know if it was super glue, but it was a strong adhesive glue, that XT60 connector together just so it wouldn't separate. And even after that, like knowing that that was an issue, I never felt comfortable on that board again. I was always expecting any little impact to shut off my board and drop me. Not a good time. And I know quite a few people had that issue with the XT60 connector. The Float Life caught on to this as well, and they offer I think it's like $2.50, a little retainer clip thing that helps secure that XT60 connector. So if that's definitely something you should think about. And it gets even better. The Pint X had a serious battery issue. The pinched battery leads in the battery box. I emailed Future Motion directly about this. Their response, rest assured, there's no concern with wires being pinched. The board is safe. All right, cool, let's test that. I ordered a Pint X after that email exchange directly from Future Motion. The board arrived. We live streamed, me and a buddy, actually two buddies. We live streamed unboxing the box or the board, disassembling everything, opening the battery box, voiding that warranty, and sure enough, the cables, the battery leads, were already crimped before a single foot stepped on that Pint X board. There's actually an entire website of people documenting this. I'll list it right here. Future Motion never publicly addressed this. From my understanding, they will fix it if you send your board back to them, from what I understand. Also, after this was all kind of going on, they did quietly start adjusting what they did inside their battery boxes to make sure that wasn't crimping anymore. But I guarantee there's still a ton of Pint X's out there right now with riders that have no clue about this. So it's just something to really be mindful of. Have a repair shop look at it or send it to Future Motion to have them take care of it. But that was something they should have addressed. They should have said, hey, this is going on. Not even really a recall, but just an optional one. I mean, hey, they did that with the ghosting foot pads. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of them out there still. And this battery lead crimp issue, that could potentially lead to cutouts, to charging failures, and in rare cases, potentially it could be a fire hazard from what I understand. But at least they fixed a 6-inch hub for the GT riders and fixed the issue that they created with that in the first place. Money, money, money. So at this point, I had fully sworn off Future Motion. I built my VESC board and I was done. But a couple weeks ago, I made a mistake. I ordered the GTS hub stator thinking that I could put that in my XR MTE hub. My bad. Turns out I was wrong. Not a big deal, but I emailed Future Motion right away and told them, like, hey, I'm happy to pay I think it's a 15% restock fee. The motor, the hub was still in California. I got that email sent in really quickly, and they did reply to me pretty quick and said, okay, like let's do this. And then I said that I wanted to make sure everything was good to go because when I checked out, I used Shop Pay to make the 6-month payment thing on it. And then my next reply back was that no components could be returned. So that definitely bummed me out. I checked their return policy on ShopPay. In the ShopPay that gets their information directly from Future Motion, they state nothing about that, which is one thing. I checked their website. Sure enough, at the bottom of the page, in just regular small font, it says all component sales are final. So that definitely sucks seeing that, as now, they had their argument that I couldn't just return this. And I get that if I opened the package, installed it, and then I wanted to return it, that would be an issue. If I tried to do that, if they had a piece of tape on it that I broke the seal, whatever, I would be like, okay, yeah, I took it out of the box, I tried to put it in, it didn't work, I can't return it. But this is a situation where, I mean, literally, it was the day after I ordered it. The motor hub was literally in California still. I'm in Minnesota. And I could just, when it arrives, don't accept it. Don't accept it and have it sent back. But they were not willing to work with me at all. And remind you, I've spent well over $10,000 with this company, and they would not give any flexibility. I was more than happy to pay the $127. It would be the 15% of the $850 that this piece was. But they would not budge with it. It was pretty much just tough shit. That's your motor and hub now. And that is just bad business practice, in my opinion. There has to be times that you bend the rules a little bit, and I feel like this should have been one of them. I wasn't trying to pull anything over. I've given them so much money, and what did I get? A middle finger in the face. Sucks. Luckily, another rider reached out to me and bought it from me at a discounted rate. They were just also someone that wasn't willing to spend any more money with Future Motion, and they were kind of waiting for someone to post something about a 6-inch GTS hub for sale, and he got it. And I'm glad that he got it, and I'm done dealing with Future Motion. There are a ton of complaints out there, from the 1% bricked GTS stuff going on, to all the cease and desists against third-party companies, hit or miss warranty claims, blaming everything on rider error, the list goes on. But this is all just my personal experience, or experiences. And after all this, I'll never look back. I'm fully Team VESC now, and I couldn't be happier. And I genuinely hope that everyone riding a Future Motion board has good luck. I'll ride with anyone, whether it's a VESC, whether it's a Future Motion board, Fungineers, Float Wheel, or Trotter. Okay, maybe I won't ride with you if you're rocking a Trotter. I'm sorry. But Future Motion is a company, they don't deserve my money anymore. And this is not aimed at the factory team or probably mostly employees that work at Future Motion. I don't know them. We small talk here and there, but I don't have any personal ties or anything. This is aimed at Future Motion's leadership, because everything I've seen from them, they don't care about us. They care about control, and they care about money. And I'm personally done. This was definitely a video that I was kind of back and forth if I was going to make. Honestly, up until a couple weeks ago, I wasn't going to make this. I was just going to let sleeping dogs lie. But then with that GTS hub thing, it really irked me wrong. And I'm like, you know what? We all have opinions. You have an opinion. I have an opinion. We all have voices. And we shouldn't be shying away from using those. I wanted to do this in as much of a respectful manner as I could. So I think I did my goal there. I'm not running around FFM. Some people are. That's not something I really want to do, because that's not constructive. It's not helping anything. This is a hobby and pretty much a way of life now, that so many of us get to enjoy together. And I've grown amazing relationships with other people based on Onewheel love. And, a lot of relationships have blossomed from that. And that's something that I love in this community. And yeah, I just wanted to share my personal side of things. So let me know what you think. Maybe I'm an idiot, maybe I'm an a-hole, maybe I'm not, maybe I'm completely right, but this is just my personal reality. All right, and as always, stay safe out there and ride rebellious.